Hello everyone, it's Cyrano, and today I'm going to be talking about Torchlight. Now, as Diablo 3's release date has been coming up, I've been mucking around on a few of the other action RPGs out there, and I thought I'd go and give a review on Torchlight, especially since its sequel is also coming up very soon. Now, the best way I could describe this game is it's sort of a mix between Diablo 1 and Diablo 2. If you combined them together, you'd get Torchlight. Now, the way I describe that is because you've got a town, and you start in the town, it has all your merchants, there's only one town, and you go down a dungeon just like in Diablo 1. You have spells like in Diablo 1 that you can apply to your character no matter what class they are. And the Diablo 2 part of it is you've got, where are we, skill trees just like Diablo 2, except there's no actual requirements for one skill to use another skill, just a level requirement. And the skills, they feel like Diablo 2 skills. It's the sort of thing where you have your skill for taking on a boss, you'd have your skill for AoEing down mobs, and you just sort of spam it. Personally, I just use this Ricochet. It just seems to work on bosses and on trash. Now, at the start of the game, you're up on the top. You get a quest to go down and stop an evil that's in the cave below the town. Now, that really only lasts up until level 30, and as you go down about every 4 levels or so, you have new environments. But once you get to level 30 and you've killed the main boss, you can keep on going down in this tomb, which just randomizes the level for you with random mobs, random terrain, and the mobs scale to whatever level you are. So you can just keep going down and down and down and down until you reach level 100. My highest character is level 60, which is still quite a bit of time spent because I have played multiple characters. Now, one thing I do like about this game is the skill trees are very versatile. So this character here is generally designed with a bow in mind, but she can use magic with these traps. She can also use melee skills and dual wield. Where are we? Here we go. See, martial weapons expertise. So you get to do whatever you want to your character. You want to use magic, you want to use bows, you want to use melee. You can do that. You're not limited to one character just using a specific thing. Now, the way the stats work is fame gets you extra skill points every time you get a fame tier, and you get fame by completing quests by killing bosses. So there's an incentive to kill not just bosses but also the mini bosses. XP is just normal XP. You level up, you get more stat points, you get a skill point. The way strength works is you have a number of strength here, and as you see, it increases your damage by direct percentage. So for example, my bow will do 784 damage to 1500, and my defense will reduce damage taken by exactly this amount. So it's not a game of percentages where your defense reduces, say, your defense by 60%, it reduces it by that exact amount. And this is a system that's very easy to figure out, especially when it comes to resistances. Like, these amounts are the exact amount that will be absorbed from hits. You don't have to figure out ratings or anything like that. It's very easy to jump in it and just start playing. Now, you can enchant your weapons, and it just adds another stat to it. So if you've got a good weapon, you want to keep it, you can just keep trying to enchant it and keep making it stronger. There are mods which also remove the ability to destroy items while enchanting. So you can customize your experience with these mods the way you want. I personally have enchanting doesn't break, but it costs more, so you can't spam it. And I've got potions can stack up to 100 or 200 or something like that. So I don't have potions taking up my entire bag space. Like you can have items identify automatically, things like that. There's heaps of customizations with mods that you can get out there, so take a look around and customize the game to the way you want to play. Now, the controls are extremely responsive. It is a top-down view, and it's always a top-down view. You have a pet that plays with you no matter what class you play. You can choose a cat or a dog, and he also has spells on him. and necklaces, rings, that sort of thing. So I've got elemental protection, which increases, you know, my pet's elemental protection, and he can also cast it on me too. And he's also got heal all, so he can heal me and himself whenever he feels like. So you can customize your pet quite a bit. It also attacks, and you can get talent points there that you can spend to buff its attack strength up as well. But the best thing about the pet is it collects loot. You can send it back to town and it will just sell all that loot and vendor it off for you. And it's only gone for 20 or so seconds once you put skill points in, so not that long even. And that just, you don't have to go back to town, and you can just keep collecting the loot you want. You can even identify stuff, and if it's not what you want, just get rid of it and keep all the stuff you want. There we go. The game has 3 difficulties. Easy, normal and hard, I think. I'm very hard. And there's achievements for completing these as well. There's also hardcore, so if you die, your character's dead. I found easy and normal to be quite easy, and I would recommend to anyone who has played a game like this before that you might want to start on hard even. The game also has Steam Cloud, if you've got Steam, and Steam Achievements. And this is great for an action RPG, especially a single player one. It just gives you something to do and something to aim for to complete the achievements, since there's no multiplayer part of the game. And with the Steam Cloud, it's good in case you're playing on multiple platforms. You can just keep your characters going around between the different computers that you might have. The game's supposed to work well on a netbook, and it does graphically run well on a netbook. I have tested it. However, hard drives in netbooks are very unresponsive, and this game just seems to use a lot of hard drive, which means the loading times just to start up playing on this game is just huge on a netbook. You might have to wait 3 minutes just to get into a level, and I just found it to be annoying. I'd much rather play something else with low load times. Even if the game runs good, I just couldn't stand it. Now, the game does have a stash for your character, and it has a combined stash for all your characters. So if you find something good, you can send it to another one of your characters. And when you retire an item, you can... when you retire a character, they can retire, and an item that they have can become an heirloom item that you can just give to another character that you're going to create. So even if you leveled up to say level 50, then you can retire your character and it's an even stronger item back to another one of your characters, and that just gives another incentive to just keep on playing. The game's biggest problem is just its lack of multiplayer. It almost feels like a crime these days that if you release a roguelike action RPG that you don't have multiplayer in it, you're just kicking yourself in the foot. I can't stress how much I've been wanting to play this game with friends of mine and with the missus, and not being able to do so just made me move on to other games that I can play multiplayer, like Diablo 2 or even Titan Quest, even though I really enjoy this game. So I could have got a lot more out of this game. For its price, it's pretty good if you've got nothing else to play. However, I would just wait for Torchlight 2 to come out, which will have multiplayer in it, so you can play with your friends. If you're looking for something to put on a laptop, this is a great action RPG to put on there. I would probably have to rate the game as a 7, simply because the multiplayer really lets it down on the replayability. Just because you'll end up playing other games just because they are multiplayer. Thanks for listening.